your company. Don't wanna give the credit on your time of this, but lose it when you love me. Like smoke, I hung around in the old valley. Whoa, whoa. It's not a movie, this is not a script to proofread. I spit some untruth to dumb fools and groupies. Fun to punctuate, pronunciate the funds I make them out for take. Put in your face, oh my mistake, you're not a floozy, then excuse me. Before I talk my style, introduce me, get your name and phone number like 1, 2, 3. Y'all know the story, y'all know the commentary. I kick the narrative, this is legendary. The good Samaritan, hood lesbian, like a polygamist with a twist. Will I marry again? Maybe, I guess. I hold a lady interest I just met. The love scholar, she the teacher's pet. Every other eve we meet and make each other sweat. I feel triumphant, no strings, just a thing to have fun with. I'll be out in London, Camden, hunting for the answers. Why did God take away the homie? I can't stand it, I'm a firm believer that we all meet up in eternity. Just hope the big man show me some courtesy. Why? Cause I'm deemed a heartbreaker like smoke. Girls ring around a player.
And now for my next number, I'd like to return to the
classic.
Hey everybody, it's Alex back again with a new Vinyl Finds video. The day I'm filming this, it is the 24th? Yeah, of March. So as of yesterday, the UK's in lockdown for 3 weeks. So this could be my last Vinyl Finds for a while. So let's keep that in mind. I do have quite a few things here though, because I've managed to cop quite a few things from the store before I left on my last day. So let's get those out of the way. But before I do that, I will show you what's playing in the background. Eddie Harris. That is Why You're Overweight album. Very nice jazz funk album. I haven't listened to this in a while, so I thought I'd play it. Since I forgot what it sounded like, to be honest. So I have that. Right, so that's what's playing in the background. Let's begin into this Vinyl Finds. Kick it off with some new vinyl. Not new releases, but like brand new vinyl. One my girlfriend bought me. Maroon 5, Overexposed. I spotted it that it was cheap on Amazon, and my girlfriend said, "Oh, I'll give you the money to buy that." So I was like, "Alright then," because I'm not going to argue with that. So I have that. I only grabbed these as they're cheap on Amazon. No particular order or rhyme or reason as to why I grabbed these. But this is still a good album. You got One More Night, Payphone, Wiz Khalifa, and Daylight, I think, are the 3 big songs off this album. This is a 2016 reissue of this. That's the label. I don't mind having reissues, because obviously originals will be very expensive. And I mean, Maroon 5, yeah, they're one of my favourite modern bands, but I'm not that bothered about owning the originals. You guys know me. So yeah, decided to make sure I had a copy of that while it was cheap on Amazon. And plus I do like the cover. Probably my favourite cover that Maroon 5 has done on all their albums. So there is that one. Very, very nice album there. So make sure I grab that one. Other one I picked up, and this one I had to order through the shop, but I still managed to get it brand new. This is Blood Orange, Angel's Pulse. This is a mixtape he put out at the end of last year, or 2019, I don't think it was the end, probably about midway through. But I really like Blood Orange's music. He makes very chilled, like R&B, hip-hop. So I might play a song or two off of this one if I can. But this is a very, very good mixtape. That's him. He's British. all the credits are on there. He's on the Domino record label, which is the same label as Arctic Monkeys, who you guys might know is my favourite band. So, of course, anything on that label, I'm going to check it out, and Blood Orange was like one that I really liked like straight away, so got into him in 2018 and have loved his music since. So yeah, I have Angel's Pulse by Blood Orange, and that's it for new vinyl. Let's move on to the second-hand vinyl. And I'll start with the 7-inch singles because I did almost forget about them. A mixture of everything in here, some reggae, some AE stuff, loads of stuff for DJing with. I think I'll start with that stuff first though. The Police, Walking on the Moon. Did not have this one on 7. It's back with Visions of the Night. I don't think I had this one on 7, but I have it now, if I didn't already. High Gloss, You'll Never Know, backed with I'm Totally Yours. Enola Gay by OMD, backed with Annex. Pretty classic 80s song there. Aha, Stay on These Roads, backed with Soft Rains of April. Eurythmics, Shame, backed with I've Got a Lover, back in Japan. Cover is obviously damaged, but the vinyl's pretty nice, so grabbed that for our 80s stuff. UB40, State 1 in 10, or 808 State 1 in 10. Very, very nice 7-inch there. Had to grab that, of course. So I do like me some UB40, particularly this song. Love that. Grabbed Elton John, Your Song, because this is mine and my girlfriend's song, so it's going to go in what called like a, I guess, legacy box or whatever you call it. Like songs that mean a lot to you. David Michael has one. He got the idea from somewhere, I don't remember where, but I had to grab that for that reason. It's back with Into the Old Man's Shoes. But Your Song, that's not for playing out. This is really just for me and my girlfriend. Onto the reggae 7s now. Sugar Minor, Good Thing Going, and it's backed with Desi Roots, Hung Up. And then I also have this maxi 7-inch. So there's more than there's 2 songs on each side. But I grabbed this for John Holt cover of Help Me Make It Through the Night, because I didn't have that on 7 and it's one of my favourite songs. Also got this, Monday Morning Feeling by Tito Simon, Black Pearl by Horace Faith, and Pied Piper by Bob and Marcia on that one, so I decided to make sure I picked those up. Right, that's it for the 7s. Let's move on to the 12s. Because I don't think there's that many of them. So, I'm just trying to get some choreography going here. Because obviously I've come into this unprepared, as always. Cool. Alright, we'll kick it off with this reissue of Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Don't Give Me Up. And it's got the 7-inch mix and the dub mix on the flip side. It's obviously it's a reissue on the FFR London recordings, originally released in 1984, I think. I don't know when this reissue is from, but that's a very, very nice 12-inch there. Beastie Boys. This is the EP with from 98. This is a very, very good EP. It's got Hey Ladies and Shake Your Rump on it, and I did buy it for Shake Your Rump because it is one of my favourite Beastie Boys songs. There's the label, Grand Royale. Love American Style is the name of this EP, I believe, and so I had to grab that when I could because it's a pretty good EP, if I am honest with you guys. I think it only came out in America. I don't think it ever came out over here. So very, very nice to pick up a copy of that, particularly as I am a big Beastie Boys fan. Oh no, it's the Hey Ladies EP, excuse me. There is that. And then I also picked up the 12-inch single for Odyssey, Going Back to My Roots, which is backed with a Roots Style. Or Roots Sweet, excuse me, there. But I did grab this obviously for Going Back to My Roots, off one of my regular record dealers, so grabbed that one. Alright, everything else I think is off store credit, which I cashed in obviously before I left. So let's get into this. Kicking it up, actually this one isn't, so I'll show this first. This is Amy Winehouse, Lioness Hidden Treasures, my favourite Amy Winehouse album. And the reason it's my favourite is mainly because it's got the song Like Smoke on here, which is my favourite Amy song, and it's only on this album to my knowledge, so decided to grab that one. Pretty decent copy. The cover's not in great shape, but the vinyl was really nice. There's the label. It's on Ireland. This is an original pressing as well of this. I know it's been reissued in recent years, but yeah, there it is, the original pressing. Very, very nice copy of that. So decided to pick that up for a good price. So yeah, made sure I grabbed it. I mean, I'm a fan of Amy Winehouse anyway, but I just wanted to make sure that I grabbed this album first, and I wanted an original because I knew they weren't that expensive. So I managed to find one, and yeah, so now I can grab her other two albums. But there's Lioness Hidden Treasures by Amy Winehouse. 2011 is obviously the year on that one as well. So grab that one. Okay, everything else here is on store credits, so let's get straight into this. Talked about these guys earlier. Stay on These Roads. This is a US pressing of this from 1988. So I decided to grab that one. Like I said, American pressing of that. The very, very good album there. And while we're talking about 80s, I did pick up Kajagoogoo, White Feathers. This has their monster hit Too Shy on it, but the rest of the album is actually really good. And David Michael over at Naz Nomad actually shared this on his Instagram, and I'm like, oh, I actually don't have a copy of that in my collection, but luckily I could claim it off my store credit, and now I have a very, very nice copy with the original inner sleeve. And it's on, what label is this? EMC? Yeah. But there's that custom Kajagoogoo label. And look at them hairstyles. I mean, you know it's 80s when you've got crazy ass hairstyles like that. So there you go. That's White Feathers by Kajagoogoo. So there is that. There's going to be a lot of soul as well, because obviously that's like my main genre at the moment, so there will be a lot of soul coming up. But let's get into some REO Speedwagon. I've not picked up anything from them in a while, because you don't really see, I mean, you see the popular albums like High Infidelity and you can do the piano but you can't tune the fish, and you know, albums like that, but you never see this one, Lost in a Dream. I think it's early REO Speedwagon. It's 1974, so it's definitely one of their first albums, maybe their first or second album, something crazy like that. But yeah, I haven't picked up any REO in a while, so made sure I picked that up. I don't know any of these songs, but I did make sure I grabbed that. It's on the yellow Epic label, and it looked like no one had ever played it, because it's just that nice. So yeah, made sure I grabbed that on the yellow Epic label there. So yeah, REO Speedwagon, obviously famous for their songs Keep On Loving You and Can't Fight This Feeling. But yeah, I am a sucker for REO Speedwagon, so anything by them that I don't have yet, I am going to pick it up. I didn't have that one, so decided to make sure I picked it up. Let's move on to some reggae. Reggae is a genre of music that I'm very, like, one I love but don't know enough about to kind of go out and buy it on my own. But one person I do know quite a bit about is this guy, Anika Mozi. This is Statement. This is his second album. This is on Island. He did have a mini album. Oh, this is 84. In about 80, I think 83, 84, he had a mini album, self-titled. That's kind of his claim to fame, I guess, with a big hit called Wink With Me. But it's on the Blue Island label there. Anika Mozi, I've liked him a lot for a while, and you never see anything from him, so when I saw this, I just had to grab it and add it to my collection. And I liked Innie so much, I grabbed Shocking Out as well, which is his fourth studio album. This is 1988, so I made sure I grabbed that. I'll try and, I actually think I prefer this one over the Statement. I'll try and get a needle drop somewhere of the title track, Shocking Out. Obviously the cover's not brilliant, but you can kind of see. And I don't think, yeah, this one's not on Island. This is actually later when he moved to Greensleeves there. So I'll play a little bit of the song, the title song, Shocking Out. So I hope you guys enjoy that one. Alright, now, the rest of it I think is all soul and R&B and a little bit of jazz funk as well, so we're just going to go through and kind of pick things up as they come, starting off with Peabo Bryson, Reaching for the Sky. You just don't see Peabo Bryson stuff around a whole lot, so grabbed that. He had a big-ish album with Roberta Flack, and that was kind of what boosted him. So ever since then I've liked Peabo Bryson stuff. This is from 1977. Like I said, you just don't see his stuff around, and he's on that Purple Capital label. And again, this is like perfectly mint, like it's never been played. So could not pass up that opportunity to grab a Peabo Bryson album and add it to the collection. Especially because, like I said, you just hardly ever see Peabo stuff around. So grab that one. I did grab Jonathan Butler as well, his self-titled debut from 1987. If you like later George Benson stuff, so George Benson stuff from like the mid to late 80s, you'll really like this. It's very guitar based, very bluesy soul, but it's very good. I'll give you guys a needle drop of this if I can, because this is very good stuff. Just a solid album from start to finish, and to have a double album as your debut, very bold move. It's on Jive, as you can see there. So had to make sure I picked this up, because I've been looking for a copy of this for a while. South African, actually, he is, so made sure, I just wanted to point that out. But this is a very good album for him. It is easily the best thing he's ever done. He hasn't really done much else, I don't think. He's done a couple of other albums after this one, but nothing that ever was as big as this one. So yeah, Jonathan Butler with his self-titled album. And I'll play you something off the songs Love Songs, Candlelight and You, because I think that seems to be my favourite song off of this one. So I'll play a little bit of that.
'Cause nobody loves me the way she does. She's got that special touch. It's just too much. The way she makes me climb the walls. Ooh, baby, when she reaches for me, sure ecstasy. It's just a kiss away. There's a passion inside that only she satisfies when we go all the way. So give me some love songs, candlelight and you. It's a perfect situation. The love songs, ooh, candlelight.
Right, moving on. Where to go to next? I guess go from the front. Bobbie Humphrey, The Good Life. This is funk, jazz, soul, on Epic from 1979. US pressing of this, I believe. Very good stuff. Very bright cover, so you're going to hardly be able to see it in this lighting. But it did have the original inner. What she is, as the inner sleeve will tell you, she's actually a flute player. And that's where it really comes from. But you've got Ralph McDonald on the production for this one. Bobbie Humphrey plays flute, and she does vocals on a couple of tracks as well. But her main instrument is obviously the flute, and then you've also got Marcus Miller playing bass on quite a few tracks on this album as well, which is kind of what introduced me to that album, so I decided to grab that. Also got this, like a list of other albums to pick up. I don't know if I'll ever grab all these, but I'll definitely check a lot of them out. So yeah, it's always nice to see things like this. And then I had to replace the inner sleeve because that one's pretty busted, but I kept the original one just in case. But yeah, like I said, it's on Epic, the black Epic label. So I picked that up, and yeah, so I have some Bobbie Humphrey. Like I said, she's a flute player, but the album's very jazzy, very funky for what it is. It's not what you would expect at all, so it's very nice, and hopefully I can play a little bit of that for you as well. And once again, I'll probably play the title track off of this one, The Good Life.
The good life, the good life, it's the good life that we want to live. Making what life has to give. We're living like a life, yeah, we're living it now. The good life, the good life, it's the good life for us to enjoy. Making rain with grown-up choice. We're living the good life, yeah, we're living it now. Every night, listen to the music, pumpkin time party. Living in the Jesus, and it drives us right. Yeah, that's all the good life. Yeah, that's all the good life. Yeah, that's all the good life. Ooh.
Next up, Patricia Russian. Watch out. She's obviously famous for her monster hit Forget Me Nots, which was later sampled by Will Smith for the Men in Black theme song. But there's Patricia Russian. This album's a bit later, it's 1987. Still on Arista, has the original inner with lyrics and credits and whatnot. And yeah, there it is on Arista. Very, very nice, clean copy of this. Another US pressing. And you guys know I'm addicted to those US pressings. US and Japanese pressings, but I ain't got the money for Japanese pressings, so US pressings will do. And there is Patricia Russian's Watch Out. Very much like the rest of her stuff from when she did Forget Me Nots. Funk, R&B type of stuff, not where a lot of people think it's more disco. She's really not. She's more she is more R&B than disco, so it's definitely worth checking out. If you like Forget Me Nots, check out the rest of her discography, because I think it's very vastly overlooked and underappreciated. So there it is, Patricia Russian. Next one. Now, before you judge me on this next one, I have my reasonings here. Natalie Cole. Unpredictable. Natalie Cole is the daughter of Nat King Cole, and she had a good career, a decent career in soul. And this is a factory copy. There, not for sale. This is an album that was sampled on Jay-Z's album The Blueprint, and that's my favourite Jay-Z album, and that's what introduced me to Natalie Cole, because before that I had drastically overlooked her music just because she's the daughter of Nat King Cole, and I didn't really know how I'd feel about that. But this is a really, really good album, so I might have to check out the rest of her stuff and see what else she has going on, because she's on that orange Capitol label. There's another factory sticker on there. But this is very, very nice stuff. Very cool to have a copy of some Natalie Cole, and an album I never thought I'd own, just because, like I said, I don't really know how I would have felt, but enjoyed this one quite a bit, so I had to grab that. Natalie Cole's Unpredictable. Next up, some Billy Cobham. This is Crosswinds. I didn't have any Billy Cobham in my collection, so I had to grab some. This is a British pressing? American pressing? Could be one of the two. But yeah, he's very much like the album that's playing in the background right now, so that's why I'm inspired. But yeah, we all know Billy Cobham. He gets shown quite a bit here in the vinyl community, so I had to pick that up. It's on Atlantic. This is an American pressing. Unfortunately, it's like I'm guessing it's an 80s reissue, because look at that vinyl. Like, that's almost like a flexi disc. It's that thin, paper thin vinyl. It's not very good. I mean, it's a very clean copy, but the vinyl's just not very sturdy, so I may have to get a better copy of this at some point going down the line, but for now, what I have will do. On the Billy Cobham front. Right. Next up, we have Brass Construction 2, their second album. I have their first album that I showed a while ago. But Brass Construction are really good. Jazz, funk, band. This is a Canadian pressing of this, though. And it still has the delete stamp down in the corner, the punch out, where they'd be in dollar bins from like back in when vinyl was like big. This is their album from 70. No, this is US pressing, sorry, not Canadian. I believe, I thought it was, but it's not. Original inner sleeve still. I definitely thought it was a Canadian pressing. It's not. It definitely is a US pressing. This is from 76. So there's that one on the United Artists label. But definitely decided to grab that one. Right, I've got 3 more things to show and we're done with this video. I've got the Commodores album in the pocket. This is the last album with Lionel Richie as part of the Commodores, I think. I could be wrong. But it's from 1981, so it's just as his solo career was kicking off. If not, it's definitely one of the last albums with Lionel Richie as part of the group. But after seeing him, Lionel back Stevie in at Hyde Park back in the summer of 2019, I definitely wanted to try and get my Lionel Richie and Commodores collection back on track, because I realised there was some Commodores stuff. He performed a lot of Commodores stuff that he wrote, and I realised there was 1 or 2 songs I wasn't familiar with, so I had to make sure I picked up the ones I didn't have, and I didn't have this one, so very, very nice addition there. Comes with this random cardboard cutout, which I guess I can get rid of because I don't actually need that in there, but it is on the Motown label, like the rest of the Commodore stuff was. But yeah, you can see I definitely want to get my Lionel and Commodore's collection back on track, so I've been picking up a couple of their things here and there as I see them, but outside of like Natural High and Night Shift, you very rarely see Commodore stuff anymore, so I had to grab that when I saw it. Right, 2 more albums, again 2 more from the same artist, and we can end with this because this is going to be pretty good. So I think we'll just go in chronological order of these, and I believe this one came out first. I could be wrong on that, but this is Space by George Benson. I realised going through my collection, as I was sorting through my collection, you know, doing a bit of reorganising and stuff, I realised there was some George Benson stuff that I didn't have, and I saw this, really liked the cover, so I took a punt on it because it was George Benson, and because it's early George Benson, I just decided to take a punt on it. I think it's early Benson, so you've got like Phil Upchurch, who also features on this album. I'm just going through seeing what names I recognise, but that's really about it. For names I recognise, this is an American issue of this on the CTI label, so that's how you know it's early George Benson, because it's on CTI before he moved over to Atlantic, I think. Was it Atlantic? I don't remember. but it's on CTI anyway, which of course, it's 1978, so yeah, this one was before, but you know, early George Benson's always going to be good, always going to be jazzy, funky, which I really enjoy, so I had to take a punt on this one, but I can see myself really liking this one. In fact, let me try and give you guys a sample of the song Summertime, because you might recognize it, because it's the song I know of this album, but I didn't know the rest of it. So I'll give you guys a needle drop of Summertime by George Benson. And while I'm on the subject of George Benson, there is one more album I have to show you, and we're going to end with this one. This is the album Beyond the Blue Horizon by George Benson. Features Ron Carter and Jack DeJohnette on this album. This is another US pressing, I think. Yeah, it is another US pressing of this album. This is 1979, so this is the just before he put out the Give Me the Night album and moved on from CTI. But again, it's on that CTI label. It's got that inner sleeve. I don't know what that's all about, but it's got other albums on there on the CTI label. There's only a couple on here that I own. There's a lot of them that I don't. But CTI is one of my favorite labels when it comes to like jazz and jazz funk and jazz fusion. So definitely had to pick this album up. There's the yellow CTI label again. I do like this label quite a bit, so we'll pick up anything on CTI I can find, but you very rarely see it in good shape, so I grabbed it. It's George Benson. It's one I didn't have. It's Beyond the Blue Horizon by George Benson, and that is it. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry if it dragged out a bit longer than they normally do. But I wanted to make this one count, as it will be my last vinyl finds for about 3 weeks to a month. Maybe a bit longer. So, who knows how long it's going to be till the next one, but I don't know how long I'm going to have to wait, but we'll see. So that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you give it a like if you enjoyed it. If you're new here, subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you know when I upload next. Follow me on my Instagram if you're interested in my DJing or want to know more about, or if you just want more knowledge on soul music, because that's kind of my main thing on there. Or the music that I tend to play out. So yeah, definitely check out my Instagram, and I will see you guys whenever my next video might be. Peace.